Welcome to Talk News TV on GNN Global News Network. I'm Gerry Cornejo, and this evening we're going to have guests from overseas, and we're going to be talking about a special program that brings them to the Philippines. It has to do something with our PNP, and of course, why not? They are from the San Francisco Police Department. We have officers from the San Francisco Police Department, and to my immediate left, we have Police Officer Joseph Filamor. Jojo is a Pinoy. Welcome, Jojo.
Thank you.
Jojo, would you like to introduce the rest of our guests from the SFPD?
Of course. Lieutenant Espinda and Sergeant Dominic.
Okay, so Lieutenant Espinda, welcome, and Sergeant Dominic, welcome to Talk News TV. Now, okay, we go by rank here. Lieutenant Espinda, what do you do for the SFPD?
Well, I just recently got promoted as a lieutenant as the San Francisco Police Department. I'm currently in charge of the night watch of the Bayview Police Station, one of the toughest stations in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Sergeant Yin?
I'm assigned to the busiest watch at the busiest station, where I serve the capacity as a field training sergeant, overseeing the development of our young police officers, and I'm also over the training department. And
of course, you have Police Officer Jojo Filamor, who, by the way, is a Pinoy. No? Baka napapansin nyo, is one of the Filipinos in the police force. Do they have a lot of Filipino Americans in the SFPD, in the police force?
Yes. Currently, right now, we're looking at excess of 160
Wow.
or so.
160 out of?
About 2,100.
Wow, okay, so that's 15%.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, more or less. And what do you do for the SFPD?
I've been a police officer for 11 years, and out of the 11 years, we're all on patrol.
Okay.
So this is patrolling the streets with either a police car, and sometimes we even do foot beat or bicycle patrol.
Bicycle patrol.
Yes.
Okay, by the way, the leader of this group, unfortunately, he couldn't be with us now. It's Lieutenant Eric Kema. And Lieutenant Eric Kema is, could you tell us something about Lieutenant Eric? What he does for SFPD?
As of his current assignment is a special investigation division. It's very important position, and he is the lieutenant. Many responsibilities, many units under his command. Areas in terrorism and dignitary protection, and mayor's detail protection, just to mention a few.
Okay, and by the way, what brings them here is the more interesting, or the most interesting topic that we're going to be discussing here. Who is most conversant about P.E.T? Could you please, who is the most conversant? Would it be you, Sergeant Yin?
Certainly. About 10 years ago, in 1999, then Sergeant Kema, and I was an officer then, and we certainly got the guidance of these two hard-working, hard-charging officers. We formulated a P.E.T exploratory program, and the common idea was we need to be able to learn from our counterparts, share in the Kababayan spirit, engage in the generosity of the Filipino spirit, and how we thought best we could do that was to share some of our expertise and also learn from the PNP as well.
And could you tell them about what the acronym stands for, P.E.T, Police Exchange?
Right, it's a Philippine Exchange Training.
Philippine
program.
Exchange Training.
Yes.
Okay, and you've been around town. As a matter of fact, they hit the news yesterday because they had some kind of an exercise in Caloocan. Who would like to discuss that? Because if you read the newspaper accounts, I mean, you simulated an attack on a police station. Was that what happened? And so would anyone, if you'd like to discuss that, Lieutenant Espinda or Sergeant Yin?
Okay, this was pre-practice. These are all practice events over a year. Again, this program is based on our own time. We use our own resources to fly here. In fact, all the certificate paper we pay for with our own money. The printers we pay for, the laptops we pay for on our own, the airline tickets, the hotel stays. what we did was, over the course of the last 12 months, we were in constant contact with our counterparts here at the PSC, at the PMA, at the various police stations. And they told us, well, this is what we would like you to present. And we worked very hard. We're talking 3 to 4 hours every Saturday afternoon out of our own time to prepare for these events. One of those scenarios is takeover strategies. And how do you best, not just takeover strategies, but how do you counteract takeover strategies? What is the most officer safe and officer proficient way we could do that? And we wanted to demonstrate that, and we wanted the PMP's participation.
But you've never had a situation like that in San Francisco, or probably during the gold rush.
No, we've had similar situations.
Really?
Where people have taken over high-rise hotel. It was not a police station, but it was high-rise, very high foot traffic places, and certainly we have experience in that arena.
Because over here, it actually happens.
Yeah.
It actually happens here. Like rebel groups or just plain bandits would raid the police station to get the guns, to get the ammunition, to get to free some of their imprisoned colleagues, their brothers in arms, you know. So, Lieutenant Espinda, could you tell us what you've been doing here? You've been here now for over a week, and you've been visiting different venues and talking to different groups. Could you please tell us about that?
Well, we've been fortunate enough to visit the SAF and see how they train. We went to a couple of police stations and we were able to talk to the local police officers there. And what's really good about that is that we were able to exchange a lot of experiences between these officers. My own very experience of some of the incidents that occur is so similar to the incidents that occur with the PMP officers. And that's very important in the sense we have all these equipment and they don't. And I learned how they could communicate and survive without using these equipment. We could communicate with our radios. So each officer carries a radio,
yes.
And the PMP officers don't carry radios. And it's amazing. How do you communicate and tell your officers where to go and how do you do it? It's amazing how they could do that.
How do they do it? Because when I was in San Francisco, like you'd have a radio here and you'd tell them, hey, I'm in a 7-Eleven in the corner of Geary and 33rd Avenue, and hey, I'm here now. You know, they know exactly where you are at all times. And you're all wearing bulletproof vests, and what's the standard sight piece now? A 357 Magnum, or what's the standard?
We've transitioned to a 40 caliber, a Sig Sauer.
Okay.
Carry 34 rounds minimum.
Okay, so that will but San Francisco has a very low crime rate. Am I right?
Yes.
One of the lowest in the USA.
Yes, it is.
And you'll be surprised, if I'm not mistaken, one of the most dangerous places to live in terms of crime rate is Washington, D.C. Is that right?
Absolutely. For a major
Washington,
city.
D.C., the people, you know, the capital of the United States of America, where, you know, George Bush used to reside, and now it's Barack Obama. And by the way, I'd like to say hello to a friend of mine who's listening now. He's my neighbor in the condominium, and his name is Lincoln Fang. Hi, Lincoln. You know, the reason I remembered my friend Lincoln is because, you know, one of the role models of your president now is, you know, Abraham Lincoln.
That's right.
Right. So, tell us now, may I call you Jojo, no? To,
Yes.
kababayan natin to si Jojo. Jojo, what do you feel, what do you see when you see your brother policemen here in the Philippines? The truth is, they're so ill-equipped compared to you guys.
Well, you know, it's amazing how they were able to perform their duties, you know, even ill-equipped. But the thing that we were amazed as police officers, myself, Lieutenant Espinda and Sergeant Yin, and the years that we've been coming back to the Philippines is, you know, the typical Filipino where you get things done no matter what conditions, and no matter how hard they are, they're able to get the job done the best that they know how.